So long, partner.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 best movie endings of the century so far.
The last pages are for you, Sam.
For this list, we'll be looking at the greatest film conclusions released in the year 2000 or later. This means a whole lot of spoilers. Did we forget a notable finale? Let us know in the comments.
Hey Mojoholics! For a chance to win cash prizes, play our live daily trivia challenges every day at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern only at WatchMojo.com/play.
Number 20. Okay. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
It was nice meeting you and all.
The secret to a great movie twist is that it recontextualizes what we've seen up until that point, making us see previous scenes in a new light. And the twist from Michel Gondry's 2004 sci-fi romance does just that. After undergoing a procedure to eliminate all memories of their relationship, Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet's characters meet at a train station, at which point we realize that the first scene of the movie is actually their second meeting. After learning that they had been in a relationship and had their memories erased, the two decide to try again, in spite of the risk that history might repeat itself.
And I'll get bored with you and feel trapped because that's what happens with me.
Okay.
Number 19. Crying by the Fireplace. Call Me by Your Name. While the romance was never meant to last, Elio Perlman still feels the residual effects of his affair with Oliver. The latter calls the Perlmans to check in with them and offers some parting words to their son. Elio and Oliver share one final conversation over the phone as they reminisce about their time together.
Oh, you're getting married, I suppose?
It's a fleeting moment that subverts the dramatic reunions of typical romances. The main character follows this up by sitting by the fire, crying quietly as the flames flicker off screen. It's also a subtle ending that allows the hero to mourn the relationship. The heartbroken teenager doesn't need words to express his sadness, inspiring viewers to remember their first loves.
Is it a video? Is it a video? I have touched you for the last time.
Number 18. Jigsaw's Surprise Saw.
I want you to make a choice.
When two unsuspecting victims awaken to find themselves chained up in a bathroom, with two hacksaws and a corpse to keep them company, the stage is set for one of the most nail-biting and shocking horror films of the decade. Faced with the choice of either killing each other or cutting their legs off to escape, the pair soon deduce that they're the latest victims of the notorious Jigsaw killer. But in a shocking twist, the corpse in the room is eventually revealed to be very much alive, and the Jigsaw killer himself to boot. The franchise never again reached the heights of this incredible ending.
Game over.
Number 17. Swan Lake. Black Swan.
You completely blew me away. Okay, well, I guess, that's it. So I'll let you finish.
Natalie Portman's character, Nina Sayers, beats out her rival Lily and her own mind to become the star ballerina in a production of Swan Lake. Darren Aronofsky's surreal film ends with the final show, showing that Nina's preparation truly pays off. She expertly dances as the white and black swan in a stirring performance. However, there's a price for her extreme dedication. The leading dancer collapses after some impressive moves and ends up receiving a serious wound on stage. She truly gives everything to the ballet in an ending that proves there's a dark side to pursuing your dreams.
Perfect. That was perfect.
Number 16. Reuniting with Kevin. Moonlight.
What can I get you? Is I wrong?
The only thing that got us more emotional than the surprise win that Barry Jenkins' film had at the 2017 Oscars was the ending of the film itself. The powerful story of a gay black man living in Miami, the film explores themes of masculinity and identity, as it follows main character Chiron through 3 stages of his life. The final segment sees Chiron, now an adult, return to Miami and reconnect with his former lover Kevin.
You're the only man that's ever touched me.
As you might expect, old emotions come bubbling up to the surface, especially given how Kevin has seemingly moved on with his life. It's no wonder the film won an Oscar, eventually.
Number 15. out the window. Birdman.
Dad? Dad? Alejandro G. Iñárritu's 2014 film stars Michael Keaton as an actor living in the shadow of his time playing a famous superhero. So yeah, this one's pretty meta. Full of breathtaking long takes and furious drum solos, the film is a captivating look at fame and depression that frequently throws viewers for a loop, with doses of magical realism.
The film looks like it's going to end on a down note when a despondent Keaton appears to throw himself from a hospital room window.
But the final reaction of his daughter as she looks skyward instead of down indicates it may be a happy ending after all.
Number 14. Andy gives his toys away. Toy Story 3.
Now, you gotta promise to take good care of these guys. They mean a lot to me.
Speaking of endings that had us weeping, the third installment in Pixar's beloved franchise left pretty much everyone who saw it in tears. After a harrowing adventure that took them from a daycare to nearly being melted in an incinerator, Woody, Buzz, and friends finally get the happy ending we were hoping for. Andy gives his toys to a neighborhood child and plays with them one last time before leaving them to their new lives.
Buzz Lightyear to the rescue!
It's really the best ending we could have hoped for, and after the terrifying experience of nearly seeing these beloved toy characters meet their doom, we're grateful for the happy ending.
So long, partner.
Number 13. The Dance. Avengers Endgame. How do you bring the massive Avengers saga to a close? The Russo brothers were up to the task with this quiet moment between two beloved characters. A climactic battle with Thanos certainly proves to be an epic scene, but the epilogue of Endgame really tugs at the heartstrings.
Try some of that life Tony was telling me to get.
How'd that work out for you?
It was beautiful.
Captain America grows old and even gets to have his dance with soulmate Peggy Carter. Giving his shield over to Sam Wilson, Steve Rogers finally gets to settle down and have his happy ending after saving the universe.
You want to tell me about her?
No. No, I don't think I will.
Other MCU finales, such as Iron Man, have effective hooks, but this one speaks to the deeper meaning of the entire adventure. Number 12. Mercy Kill. The Mist. Having barely made it through the movie, the remaining survivors of the Mist contemplate their own existence in the final minutes.
For once.
There's 5 of us.
David Drayton makes the executive decision to spare the riders from being taken by interdimensional beings. After going through with a devastating choice, the character reels from his losses and anticipates his own death. The actual outcome is much different than what he expected. Instead of being torn apart, the hero finds himself surrounded by military personnel. The gut punch of an ending really sells the desperation of the premise. By revealing the effects of an impossible choice, this Stephen King adaptation really goes for broke. Number 11. Frodo leaves for Grey Havens. The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. After completing his quest to destroy the ring, Frodo returns home at the end of this trilogy. Time passes before the Hobbit heads for the Undying Lands. The emotional conclusion brings a finality to the hero's journey, leaving many of his friends like Sam behind.
Do not sad, do not weep. For not all tears are an evil.
Some continue to criticize The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King for having so many endings, but this one definitely feels like the book officially closes on the series. We can't argue with getting to spend extra time with some of our favorite characters either.
We set out to save the Shire, Sam. And it has been saved. But not for me.
Leaving behind his own story for others to read, the brave Frodo becomes a legend as he sails away. Number 10. The Circle of Time. Arrival. Amy Adams' character Louise Banks goes through the ringer in this sci-fi drama. After making contact with aliens, she comes to a greater understanding of humanity as a whole. Banks finally cracks the foreign language and its association with time. This knowledge gives her a look into the future, revealing that her daughter hasn't been born yet. Not only that, the father ends up being her colleague Ian Donnelly in another surprise. All of these details play out in illuminating moments that bring together the importance of communication, relationships, and life itself.
You know what surprised me the most? It wasn't meeting them. It was meeting you.
Denis Villeneuve's poetic direction brings it all together in one of the more hopeful looks at contacting other life forms. Number 9. Hypnotized. Old Boy. After Woo Jin exacts his revenge, Dae-soo realizes Mi-do is his daughter.
어떻게 자기 여자를 지켜? 난 미도가 4살 때부터 여태까지 숨어서 보여왔는데 당신은 이게 뭐야?
He goes to a hypnotist to have his memory wiped of this knowledge. In the film's final moments, Mi-do hugs him without any idea of the earlier revelations. The hero smiles, and then his visible happiness begins to fade. Did the man successfully have his mind altered, or does he find himself unable to forget the horrible truth? The ambiguity of this ending asks audiences to question the entire journey itself. As enigmatic as the movie's setup, this finale allows viewers to start a discussion of their own about the true fate of Dae-soo's mind. It's also more engaging to throw another twist into this story rather than neatly wrapping it up. Number 8. Waking Up from a Dream. No Country for Old Men.
The coin don't have no say. It's just you.
I got here the same way the coin did.
Like many of the Coen brothers' movies, their 2007 thriller ends on an ambiguous note, one meant to underline the seemingly random and indecipherable chaos of life itself. After being hit by a car, falling prey to the random chance he previously seemed to hold mastery over, ruthless assassin Anton Chigurh limps off into an uncertain future. Meanwhile, now retired Sheriff Ed Bell shares a seemingly ominous dream he had the night before.
I knew that whenever I got there, he'd be there. Then I woke up.
Is Sheriff Bell's dream the secret cipher to decode the film's deeper meanings? Or is it simply chaos and chance? We still don't know. And frankly, we're cool with that. Much like A Serious Man, this one is all about ambiguity.
Number 7. Whispering a Secret. In the Mood for Love.
如果有多張船飛，你會唔會同我一齊走啊？
Wong Kar-wai's legendary romance centers on a man and a woman who form an unlikely bond when they learn that their respective spouses are having an affair together. United by the shared trauma, the two begin a friendship that slowly evolves into something more, as they develop feelings for one another. But in the end, the two part ways, unable to engage in the same kind of betrayal that they fell victim to. In the closing scene, the male lead whispers a secret into a hollow in a wall, referencing an earlier scene, and ending the film on an ambiguous and melancholy note that still makes us tear up no matter how many times we rewatch it.
Number 6. The Lie. Memento.
You're living a dream, kid.
Boy, that Christopher Nolan sure knows how to end a movie, doesn't he? Nolan's career-making film follows a man with anterograde amnesia, a condition that leaves him unable to form new memories beyond the past 5 minutes. To make matters worse, he's on the trail of his wife's killer.
You're not a killer. That's why you're so good at it.
The film is an often confusing maze of twists and turns, with a curveball ending that leaves many shaking their heads. We eventually learn that the entire film has been shown to us out of order, and that our amnesiac protagonist has been the pawn of an undercover police officer this whole time, and that he already avenged his wife's death years prior.
I have to believe that when my eyes are closed, the world's still there.
Number 5. The Secret. Lost in Translation.
Hey, you.
As already discussed, there's something maddeningly interesting about an ambiguous ending, one that keeps us wondering well after the credits have rolled. A standout from this period is definitely the finale to Sofia Coppola's 2003 film, which stars Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson as Bob and Charlotte, an unlikely duo who form a friendship after a chance meeting in Tokyo. After parting ways to return to their respective lives, the two meet one last time and share a final embrace, after which Murray whispers something into her ear. The film doesn't clue us into what that something is, leaving us forever guessing. Number 4. My masterpiece, Inglorious Bastards. Always one for an entertaining surprise, Quentin Tarantino brings this alternate take on World War II to a close with an entertaining reversal. Hans Landa believes that he's going to surrender to Lieutenant Aldo Rain in a formal ceremony. Contrary to his plan, Rain adds a permanent carving to the Nazi's forehead.
I'm aware it ain't practical. I mean, at some point you gotta have to take it off. So, I'm gonna give you a little something you can't take off.
Brad Pitt's character relishes in the opportunity to exact revenge on his enemy. It's a brutal scene that reminds audiences of Tarantino's penchant for violence. With the final line of dialogue, the writer and director includes a moment of self-awareness to this war movie.
You got something, you bitch? I think this just might be my masterpiece.
Number 3. Final performance, Whiplash.
Andrew, what are you doing, man? I'll cue you.
Damien Chazelle's 2014 film had audiences staggering out of the cinema after its powerhouse closing scene, a furious drum solo performed by the main character. After enduring emotional abuse at the hands of his demanding music teacher, Miles Teller's Andrew is ready to throw in the towel on his dreams of becoming a world-class drummer. But after one last humiliation by the domineering teacher, Andrew finally performs a notoriously difficult drum solo, while his former teacher looks on. It's a hugely satisfying finale that left many audience members holding their breath as the beats flew, and Chazelle's career-making film drew to a triumphant close. Number 2. Inception.
Hotel, sir. We'll be landing in Los Angeles in about 20 minutes.
The ending that had audiences arguing over the tiniest wobble of a spinning top, the final shot of Christopher Nolan's mind and reality-bending sci-fi epic, is a lesson in how to get the maximum effect out of something minuscule. After planting an idea in a target's mind by infiltrating their dreams, Leonardo DiCaprio's Cobb seemingly returns to an idyllic life. But rather than follow DiCaprio, the final shot of the film lingers on the spinning top he uses to determine that he's not still in a dream, leaving the audience to scrutinize the shot endlessly in a search for closure. Between this and Shutter Island, 2010 was Leo's year for endings.
Which would be worse? To live as a monster? Or to die as a good man?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. I'm finished. There will be blood.
Why are you talking?
I did what your brother couldn't. I broke you and I beat you.
Movie endings that throw you for a loop with a twist or leave you guessing from ambiguity are all well and good. But sometimes you want a finale that puts a big ol' button on things. And this one certainly does that. A big bloody button, that is.
I drink your milkshake.
In a final confrontation between oil baron Daniel Plainview and Eli Sunday, a mild-mannered but ambitious pastor, star Daniel Day-Lewis's fiery performance reaches a fever pitch as he drunkenly berates Eli before savagely beating him to death with a bowling pin.
Did you think your song and dance and your superstition would help you, Eli?
It's the kind of ending that leaves you exhausted, satisfied, and absolutely certain that you will never see anything like that again. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.